Hi, I'm Miles Prater of the Values Partnership, and today I'm going to talk about how to get out of the mind cage. This is the first video of Listening 4.0, How to Learn by Listening, and that's part of a bigger series, When Leaders Listen, We Change Our World. So, what's the mind cage? Well, a very famous Australian sociologist, Hugh Mackay, he talks about this invisible cage that we're all trapped in, where information outside that contradicts what we think is true can't get in. And we've all been constructing this mind cage since youth, and the corners and the walls over time just get harder and more solidified and more rigid. And inside it's pretty cruisy because our assessments and our attitudes and our beliefs don't get challenged. And the problem isn't the cage itself. The problem is we're blind to it because it's been there for so long and it just becomes normal. And all our assessments and points of view remain unchallenged. We think we're seeing and hearing the world how it really is, but there's a lot going on outside that could be contradicting our point of view that we just can't let in. And the last thing we want to do is admit we could be wrong. Now, fortunately, sometimes our cage gets rattled, okay? And we have to consider other points of view. So this happened to me some years ago. I was running this consulting firm and we went to visit this client and we'd run a very successful leadership development program with them. And I was just assuming that they'd be so happy they just would sign up for more. But they asked me a question. They said, which really surprised me, like, what else do you have, Miles? And I was like, oh, well, we don't really have anything else. We just assume that they would want to do more of the same. They said, well, no. I mean, to be honest with you, your program feels a bit tired and dated, and we're hearing all this other interesting ideas from other consultants. Well, that shook my mind cage big time. And these feelings of panic and betrayal sort of welled up inside me. And I didn't really know what to do with that. So the truth of the matter is, no one wants to admit they're wrong, okay? We resist that. So back in the office, I sat down with my colleagues and we dared to ask ourselves, well, what if they're right? What if our program is tired and dated? And that was really interesting because that started a process. We were just entertaining the possibility. We weren't fully agreeing with what our clients had said, but we just were kind of exploring it. And the more we talked about it, the more we realized that what they've been telling us was actually valuable. And then the interesting thing is, so we actually heard from other colleagues around the world that they were hearing from their clients that our program was feeling a bit tired and dated. And the interesting thing is that then started off a whole process, this creative kind of explosion in our firm where we started coming up with all these new ideas, and we were collaborating with academics, and we actually started co-designing some programs with clients. It was a very exciting time, and it wouldn't have happened if our mind cage had not been shaken and challenged. So I hope this has been useful. The next video on Listening 4.0, I'm going to talk about how to listen to people you deeply disagree with. See you then.